In this video, you will learn how to go from a beginner in CapCut to an expert. First of all, let's see how you will be editing by the end of the tutorial.
If you're looking to start or scale an Airbnb business in 2024, if you have at least 5 to 7 hours a week to put into this, and you have at least a small amount of capital to start with, I want to give you my 7-step framework for free on how I was able to go from zero to $320,000 a year in revenue in my very first year of Airbnb arbitrage. Message me the word blueprint and I'll send it over absolutely free.
Alright, so first of all, you have to download the CapCut app, or even better, if you already have it, just go and open it. Then click on Create a new project. This is where the work begins. You can go ahead and add a title, such as tutorial. And then over here, you can import your media. Either you can click on the button to import it from wherever you have it stored, or you can just drag and drop the videos and photos in here. I'll go ahead and select the media. And I can just drag and drop it. This is not an original video, it's from another creator. But you can use any video that you want. Alright, so now once the video is added to the timeline, you can zoom in or zoom out by pressing on the plus or minus button on your keyboard. I like to have it zoomed in so that I can actually see what I'm doing. The first step is to remove any pauses in the video. The person may not be talking very fluently all the time and quickly, so you want to make sure there are no breaks or long pauses. But since this is an already cut video, I don't really have much to do, but there are still some pauses that you can cut. You do this by pressing Q on the keyboard, like this, and you can see here that it made a little cut. And now you can just delete it. Also, another tip is to drag this panel down, and this way you can actually see the audio waves. So now you can just go along the video and see if there are any pauses in the speech. Alright, now once you've cut and trimmed your video, then you can go ahead and color correct the video if it needs. You do this by going to Adjust, and then you can also auto adjust the video, and you can also choose the intensity, or you can scroll down and you can do it manually over here. And you do this however you want it. But just make sure that you do not go overboard. You can also go to the color wheel, for example, and then you can also do it from here by choosing the shadows. Or you can also go to the HSL, and here you can color correct by selecting each color in particular. For example, the blue, and then you can choose the saturation or the brightness. Alright, so I like the video as it is right now. You can also add a black background to your video if you want. You can just go ahead to Google and search black background. And then you can choose any one of these, for example, this one. Just save the image. And then you can just go over to CapCut and upload it here. And then you can choose the opacity of the background. For example, if you want a darker background, then you can just do this. And I think it looks quite nice. And just drag it for the whole length of the video. And then you can turn down the opacity if you want. Next, we will be adding captions. So in CapCut, you can just go over to text and go to auto captions. And then select English. And it can automatically create captions for you for any video in a lot of languages. And just click generate. And once they are generated, now you can preview them. But they are quite simple, so we will be working on them. So first of all, I like to change the font to Montserrat, and you can also make it a little bit bigger. So like 15 is good. All right, and you can also choose one of the preset styles that you have here. And you can also add a stroke to it, which makes them pop out even better. But you can choose any font and any size that you want. if you see here, you have the apply to all main captions. It's checked. So that means that whatever you do, it will apply to all of the captions. But if you uncheck that, and for example, for this one, you make it bigger, then only this one will be changed and the rest of the captions will stay the same. All right, and now you go over to captions, and over here you have all of the captions that you have generated. And you can go ahead and make them a little bit smaller so that they fit in the clip. All right, so
If you're
now,
looking to start or scale an Airbnb business in 2024, you have at least 5 to
now as you can see, they're a little bit delayed. So you have to go in, you can zoom in a little bit more and actually listen to the words that the person is speaking and actually drag the captions to fit exactly where the word is ending and starting. So this takes a bit of time, but it's worth it at the end. All right, so now all the captions are done and it looks so much better. All right, so now we are ready to start editing the hook. But first of all, let's split the video into smaller parts so that we see all the big ideas in each section. At this point, you will have to listen to the entire video and see where the main ideas are.
If you're looking to start or scale an Airbnb business in 2024, you have at least 5 to 7 hours a week to put into this, and you have at least a small, I want to give you my 7-step framework for free and how I was able to go from zero to $320,000 a year and $20,000 a year in revenue in my very first year of Airbnb arbitrage. Message you the word blueprint and I'll send it over absolutely free.
All right, so now you have the main ideas that you can work with now. So first of all, we'll start by editing the hook, which is this part. And it's also the main point of the video and the most important one because it keeps the viewers entertained and interested in watching the whole video.
If you're looking to start or scale an Airbnb business in 2024,
I just looked over the whole clip again to see how I can rearrange the text part. All right, so I will want to change the captions and make a better hook for this. So let's go to add text and just add the default text. And you can also change the font again, but you can also change it to something else if you want. So let's write all right, and I'll just add another text for the 2024. And for this one, you can also go ahead and change it to, for example, a green text and make it a little bit bigger. And I'll also make this a little bit bigger. And now you can also make this 2024 behind the main person in the video. But I will do that a little bit later on.
if you're looking to start or scale an Airbnb business in 2024,
All right, so now you can add some animations to your text. Click on the text and go over here to animation. And I really like the type.
if you're looking to
So it's this one. And I will make the duration a little bit faster.
if you're looking to start or scale,
All right. And then for the 2024, you can also go to loop so that it keeps on for the entire portion of the caption. So
if
I
you're
will
looking
go
to
to
start or
pulse.
scale an Airbnb business in 2020, if you're looking to start or scale an Airbnb business in 2024,
All right. You can also make the stroke a little bit thicker over here and also on this text so that it really pops up. And you can also add a background and then you can go ahead and like change the background and the width, or you can go ahead and add a shadow. So I think this looks a little bit better. And you can change the blurriness and the distance like this. And also the angle. And now for the video part, which is this part, you can make like a zoom in effect. So you go over here and click on toggle, and then you go over to the end and add another toggle. And for the last one, you can make it zoom in for like, all right.
If you're looking to start or scale an Airbnb business in 2024,
All right, so I like the way it looks. And now let's make the 2024 behind the person. So you just click on the video, copy it, paste it again over here. And now just select the video and go over to remove background and click on auto removal. Wait for it to process. All right, and now as you see, you have just the person over here. And now just click on the video, scroll down over here and choose to have it as the third layout. All right, and I'll actually delete this background over here.
if you're looking to start or scale an Airbnb business in 2020,
But I don't actually like the animation of the 2024. All right, so I'll choose the
if you're
zoom.
looking to or if you're looking to start or scale an Airbnb business in 2020,
And I'll make it a little bit bigger. And just move this up.
looking to start or scale an Airbnb business in 2024, you have at least
So I think that looks nice. And now we can go ahead and add a little sticker with an Airbnb. So just go over to Google and search Airbnb. So like this one looks nice, or this one. Save the image, and then you can just drag and drop it. All right, and as you can see, you still have the background, the black background of the image. So you can go over here to video and then mode and select, and then just select screen. And now it removed everything that is black. So any background that is completely black, it will be removed. So now let's see where to fit it.
or scale an Airbnb business in 2024.
All right. And you can also add a little animation to it, such as the pendulum
Airbnb business in 2024.
or the wobble.
Airbnb business in 2024. If you're looking to start or scale an Airbnb business in 2024, you have at least 5.
All right, so now this one looks good. Now let's go ahead and add some transitions in between all of the clips. So you go over to transitions, and I like the pull in ones. So it's this one. It's quite smooth.
Business in 2024. You have at least 5 to 7 hours a week to put into this.
All right, and just make it a little bit shorter.
Business in 2024. You have at least 5 to 7.
To make the Airbnb a little bit nicer, you can go over to adjust and then over here.
Scale an Airbnb business in 2024. You have
All right, so that looks nice. And now let's go ahead and edit the rest of the clip.
you have at least 5 to 7 hours a week to put into this.
So the 5 to 7 hours is a big idea. Let's go over here and separate it.
7 hours a week to 5 to 7 hours.
And the captions are not exactly where they're supposed to be, so you have to kind of edit them as you go along.
At least 5 to 7 hours a week.
All right. So we can go over to text. You can go over to templates and just use a template for over here.
5 to 7 hours. 5 to 7 hours.
Or you can just use one of these ones, such as this. All right. Let's add an animation to it.
Hours. At least 5 to 7 hours.
And make it a little slower.
5 to 7 hours. At least 5 to 7 hours a week to put into this. And you have at least a small amount. Have at least.
And you can also have the clip zoom in at this point.
5 to 7 hours. At least 5 to 7 hours a week to put into this. And you have at least a small amount of capital to start into this. And you have at least a small amount.
And also add a zoom in over here.
You have at least a small amount of capital to start with. I want to give you my...
And over here, you need another transition. So for example, the slide left one.
We'll start with. I want to give you my 7...
Or also the swipe left.
Capital to start with. I want to give you my...
I'll go and use the slide left one.
We'll start with. I want to give you my 7-step framework for free.
So this 7-step framework, you also need to make it more interesting. So let's go over here and put it together again. I'll just add the my over here. All right. And you can just look around the preset styles if you want to use one of them. I will use this one and make it more round and make it smaller. All right. You can also add a shadow to this. You can make it white for this, but it doesn't really need anything else. Add an animation.
7-step framework. 7-step framework. 7-step framework. 7-step framework. 7-step framework. 7-step framework.
All right, so
7.
we can use the golden dust.
My 7-step framework for free.
Make it a little bit shorter. All right, and you can also make it bigger.
My 7-step framework for...
And I'll remove this and just leave it like that.
My 7-step framework for free.
And the video, you can also zoom in on this part.
I want to give you my 7-step framework for free.
And when he says free, you can add also, so you can go ahead and search in the stickers that CapCut already has for you. And all of these are completely free to use. So for example, we can use this one. Just drag it over here. All right. And also add an animation to it.
7.
And also for out.
Free.
And make it shorter.
Free. I want to give you my 7-step framework for free and how I was able to go from $0 to $320,000 a year.
All right, so from this $0 to $320, we'll also do the same thing. I'll just make a cut over here and oops, and duplicate the video. And again, I will remove the background. Oops. And I will add a black background to this as well. Let's see if we can find something else. So something like this maybe. All right, just delete that one and add this one instead. All right. You go over to basic and then choose one like this. I'll just drag him like over here.
Was able to go from 0.
I'll actually make him a little bit lower like that. Great. And I will be adding some more text. So from 0 to 300 dollars. Okay. So let's use this font. Looks nice. And make it bigger. And also add a stroke, which I'm gonna make a little bit thicker. And also a shadow. All right, and I'll just copy this, and because it also saves the font and the size and everything. Okay.
$1,000 a year in revenue.
And you can make it uppercase. And now let's add some animation.
A year in a year.
And for this one as well.
From 0 to go from 0 to $320,000 a year in revenue in my very first year.
And I'll also make it
To 320,000.
all right.
To go from 0 to $320,000 a year in revenue.
And let's make it a little bit smaller.
$1,000 a year in revenue. 0 to $320,000 a year in revenue in my very first.
All right, and now let's add another transition over here.
A year in revenue in my very first year of Airbnb.
Okay, and another transition over here. Let's make it shorter.
Airbnb arbitrage. Message you the word blueprint and I'll.
All right, and now let's add a sticker with an arrow to show where the person will be emailing or messaging the word blueprint. All right, so like this one. So since this video will be for TikTok, it will be somewhere over here. Or actually like that. There we go.
Message you the word blueprint and I'll send it over.
Okay, let's add another animation.
Message you the word blueprint and I'll send it over. Message you.
All right, so I added both a bounce in and also the jiggle one, so it makes it more animated.
Message you the word blueprint and I'll send it over absolutely free.
I will make this word pop out even better. So the fact that it's free. So let's make it a little bit bigger and uppercase. All right.
Print and I'll send it over absolutely free.
All right, now let's see if we can make any more minor changes. So for example, for this background, I would like to add an animation such as zoom in.
0. Able to go from 0 to $320,000 a year in revenue in my very first year of Airbnb arbitrage. Message you the word blue.
And over here, I can add another zoom out.
Message you the word blueprint and I'll send it over.
So let's add a zoom in over here. All right, and I'll just move this a little bit closer together. All right. And now we can add some music and sound effects. So at the beginning of the video, I can add something over here. So let's go to audio and you can either import an audio or you can use the music that you already have for free in CapCut.
Okay, let's go.
So let's search for something energetic. This sounds nice, so let's just drag it over here. And then you can see this white line over here. So this is the volume. So if you drag it down, then you can see the decibels that are going down, so it's not that loud. So let's play it to see how it sounds.
If you're looking to start or scale an Airbnb business in 2024,
I'll drag it down a little bit more because it's quite loud still. And you can just listen to it in the same time to see how it sounds.
24. If you have at least 5 to 7 hours a week to put into this, and you have at least a small amount.
All right, so this sounds nice. Then whenever we have the transitions, you can also add a sound effect. So you go over here to sound effects and you can find all of these and you can scroll around and look for them. I also have some that are marked as favorite because I use them quite often. So let's search for a whoosh, for example. So this is nice. Let's just drag it over here. And you have to match the sound to the actual middle of the transition so that it sounds nice.
2024. If you have at least 5 to 7 hours a week.
All right, and you can drag down the volume a little bit.
2024. If you have at least 5 to 7 hours a week to put into this, and you have at least a small amount of capital to start with, I want to give.
All right, let's add another one over here, such as this one. And again, you just have to make sure that the sound is in the middle of the transition.
Capital to start with. I want to give you my 7-step framework for free and how I was able to go from 0 to $320,000.
All right. Let's add this one when this black background comes into effect. So over here, there we go.
I was able to go from 0 to $320,000 a year in revenue.
And we can also add a cash sound. When he says 320.
0 to 3.
So over here.
To go from 0 to $320,000 a year in revenue in my very first year.
And let's add another one over here.
A year in revenue in my very first year of Airbnb arbitrage. Message.
And let's search for a move sound effect. So like this one, and make it a little bit less loud.
Very first year of Airbnb arbitrage. Message me the word blueprint and I'll send it over absolutely free.
All right. And let's just cut the music where the video ends. And you can also have it fade out a little bit. So you just drag from this little button over here, like this. So I like for it to go like around 1 second, 0.5.
Message me the word blueprint and I'll send it over absolutely free.
And this also emphasizes the word free at the end since there is no more music. And we can also do this at the beginning of the video.
If you're looking to start or scale an Airbnb business in 2024, you have at least 5 to 7 hours a week to put into this, and you have at least a small amount of capital.
All right, so that is it for this video. Let's watch it from the beginning and see what it looks like.
If you're looking to start or scale an Airbnb business in 2024, you have at least 5 to 7 hours a week to put into this, and you have at least a small amount of capital to start with, I want to give you my 7-step framework for free and how I was able to go from 0 to $320,000 a year in revenue in my very first year of Airbnb arbitrage. Message me the word blueprint and I'll send it over absolutely free.
All right, so I think this looks very nice and smooth. So if you want more content like this, do not forget to subscribe, and you can also feel free to leave a comment down below.